Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be solving a functional equation, an easy type of functional equation where we only have a single variable x. Some functional equations, maybe most functional equations that appear on math competitions or math Olympiads, they'll have more than a single variable, like x and y, in some cases even x, y, and z. Those are different, a little harder to solve. This one is a little easier kind. All we have to do is turn this into x. Can we do that? Let's give it a try, and I'll be using different methods. So the first thing I want to do is, since I want to turn this into x, and I can't just say, okay, set it equal to x, then we're done, because that's going to give you a numerical x value. We want to use a different variable for the time being, maybe set it equal to, I don't know, t, and then our goal is going to be to solve for x in terms of t so that we can substitute that on the right-hand side, and then we'll get the answer that way, hopefully. Because if you can find f of t in terms of t, then you can just replace t with x at the end to find f of x in terms of x. Make sense? That's our goal. Now let's go ahead and start with this then. X squared minus x plus 1 equals t. Again, our goal is to solve for x. How can we do that? Easy. It is a quadratic equation. Subtract t from both sides and just solve the quadratic with the formula. The formula says negative b plus minus the square root of b squared, which is 1, minus 4a, which is 1, times c. That is going to be 1 minus t, all over 2a, which is 2. Let's simplify inside the radical. 1 plus minus square root of. We get 1 minus 4 plus 4t, so it is 4t minus 3. And then the whole thing is divided by 2. Now, this is the x value. What are we going to do with that, right? We're going to plug it in. But which x value are we going to use? There are two values. Guess what? They should both give you the same answer if the problem is well constructed, right? Well, since this is a homemade problem, did I say that before? It should be good. Now, let's go ahead and take this one. It doesn't matter. You can test the one with the minus sign and let me know what you think. But now, let's go ahead and substitute this. And remember, we have the following expression. Our original problem gives us the following. And our goal is to substitute. Now, do I need to do it on both sides? No, not really, because if you do it here, you should automatically get f of t from here. We already know that. That's how we got the x value, right? So there's no need to do that, okay? It's just going to be like a beating a dead horse. But on the right-hand side, things are more important. So let's replace x with 1 plus the square root of 4t minus 3 divided by 2. Of course, I need to raise it to the fourth power, and then minus 2 times the same thing. And of course, I'm going to raise it now to the third power. Uh-oh, it didn't fit. Maybe we can make it fit if we move this a little bit to the left. Let's see if we have enough room for that. And then plus x, which should be the same expression with the radical, right? And finally, minus 2. So that is the expression for f of 2. So can we just replace t with x and we'll be done with it? Yeah, but this needs to be simplified. And guess what? Simplifying this will be crazy. It's going to take forever and you'll probably make a mistake somewhere. Do you want to give it a try? Go ahead and do it and let me know what you're going to be getting from here, because I don't think I have the patience. Now, but if you were doing it, you would basically simplify everything and hopefully this is going to turn into something nice. Is it? Well, we can tell after using the second and maybe the third method. Hopefully that is going to help us. I'll definitely be presenting at these two methods. I'm not sure about the third one. If it works, we'll probably work through that as well. But as you can see, this is pretty messy. That's why it is the first method, because the first method is almost always time-consuming and messy and so on and so forth. Most of the time, it's something that you should not be normally doing. Okay, but why am I presenting that? Because you also need to know what you should not be doing, right? In addition to what you are supposed to be doing. Okay, great. So yes, you can take this, raise this to the fourth power. And so you can start with this. Maybe square this expression first and multiply by itself to get the third power and multiply by itself again to get the fourth. Or you can square the square and get the fourth power that way. But no matter what you do, it's going to be super time consuming. And guess what? You may make a lot of mistakes along the way. But this is what it is. I'll just go ahead and continue with the second method because that's my whole purpose for this problem. So you're probably thinking, hey, this should be a competition level problem and there should be an easier way to do it, right? Okay, first of all, since you don't know where this problem comes from, like how I came up with this idea, it will be really hard to reverse engineer. But once you get the idea, hopefully you can apply it to different situations, okay? Make sense? So here's the goal. Let me tell you the goal first. I want to take the right-hand side and be able to write it as a function of this. What is that supposed to mean? For example, if you have f of x equals x cubed plus 1, now this is a function of x. But if I write it as, let's say, g of x is x minus 2 cubed plus x minus 2, then you can safely say that g of x is a function of x minus 2, because x minus 2 can be replaced with something. Does that make sense? So we need to find something that will repeat so that we can write this expression as a function of this thing. And notice that we have the x squared, we have the x to the fourth. So doesn't that tell you, oh, maybe I should take this expression and square it? Well, let's do it. If you square that expression, there are three terms, so you either do the formula or you can put these two together, however you like to do it. I like the formula for a plus b plus c squared, which is going to look like x to the fourth plus x squared plus 1. And now we're going to do the two-way products, minus 2x cubed plus 2x squared minus 2x. Now we can rearrange the terms a little bit. X to the fourth power minus 2x cubed, and then these two will add, plus 3x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay, fine. By squaring this expression, we didn't get quite that, but we got part of it. Like what? We got these two things, okay? These two things also appear here. So that's probably good news, because fixing x cubed would be really hard to do in this case. Now, what can I do? Well, I can just pretend that I have it, right? So let's go ahead and take this expression and manipulate a little bit. So I'm going to continue with this and pretend you have x minus 2. Wait a minute, that's not what you have though, right? Well, I just added this, so I need to subtract it as well. So let's go ahead and write the rest of the expression and then just add the opposite of this expression so that they can cancel out. Nice. Now here's the good part. This is what we have on the right-hand side. Great. We got from the square, right? And then let's go ahead and fix this part. What does that look like to you? Let's rewrite it. We have x to the fourth minus 2x cubed plus x minus 2, and then plus 3x squared. Notice that this gives you minus 3x, and 1 plus 2 gives you a positive 3. This is again good news. You know why? Let me show you. Now we started with the square of this expression, right? Now we do know that that expression exists on the right-hand side. We have it here, right? So we're going to use that for sure, but also we have additional terms. So let's go ahead and continue with the rest of the expression. Now notice that we can factor out the 3 from this expression. Factor out a positive 3, you're going to get x squared minus x plus 1. Now this is good news. You know why? Because it's the same as this one. So yay, we were able to somehow write this as a function of x squared minus x plus 1. What do I mean by that? Let's isolate this, okay? If you isolate x to the fourth power minus 2x cubed plus x minus 2 equals this expression, x squared minus x plus 1 quantity squared, minus 3 times this. And what do you see on the right-hand side? You do see x squared minus x plus 1 being repeated. Now, you can go ahead and replace this with the original expression, which is f of something, right? So now we're going to replace this with f of x squared minus x plus 1, because that's what it is. And on the right-hand side, you're going to get the same thing over and over, which means we are almost done, okay? Now, here's what we're going to do next. We're just going to use substitution, but in a much more meaningful way. Take a look at this. If this is t, this is also t, and this is also t. That's what I meant by being able to write the right-hand side as a function of x squared minus x plus 1, which is t. Now we can go ahead and write f of t as t squared minus 3t, which means f of x can be written as x squared minus 3x. Awesome. This almost brings us to the end of the video, but guess what? We need to do the third method because it's Awesome. And this method actually was not originally planned, but as I started solving this problem, I just realized actually this is the second take. I kind of, didn't want to include it because it would give away the solution too quickly. And my goal is usually kind of give you a little bit of, just a tiny bit of pain with the first method. No pain, no gain, okay? That's the idea. Now, here's what I was doing. I just saw that this is factorable. And that's a good thing. Now, notice that we can factor out, like put these two together and factor by grouping. So x to the fourth plus x, which means I can factor out x. That's going to give me x cubed plus 1. And these two things, I can take out a -2, and that'll give me x cubed plus 1, right? Awesome. Now, x cubed plus 1 is a common factor, so I can now write it as x minus 2. But wait a minute, we didn't really get anything like this on the right-hand side. We don't have that, nor do we have a function of it. Wait a minute. Be patient, because what we're about to do is going to blow your mind. Are you ready? X cubed plus 1 is factorable by sum of two cubes. How? X plus 1 multiplied by x squared minus x plus 1. And you're like, so what? You got it, but you also have other things. Again, be patient, because we're not done yet. So we're going to go ahead and hold on to this, because notice that it's the same thing as that. What about these two things? Multiply together. And that's where the mathematics comes in, because you're going to have this expression right here, times this times that, which is x squared minus x minus 2. How good it can get, right? Well, we're so close. So what we need to do next is take this expression and express it as x squared minus x. Instead of minus 2, write it as 1 minus 3 so that you can use the t trick. Again, what is the t trick? Well, just call it t, and then you'll get the idea. If this is t, then this is also t, and this is also t. Not the whole thing, just part of it. But guess what? From here, you get f of t equals t times t minus 3, which means f of x equals x times x minus 3, which means f of x can be written as x squared minus 3x. Now, let me tell you where this problem comes from. I started with this and then replaced x with something weird like x squared minus x plus 1. And of course, I wanted to one of the terms to cancel out. I think that was the quadratic term, so that we would have fewer terms because it looks better that way. But that's where the whole idea came from. So you can also make up some problems and share with us in the comment section. By the way, in the community section, you can also make your own post. Did you know that? Go ahead and check it out. I also have another channel called aplusbi. Also make sure to check it out, in addition to my shorts channel, which I publish once a week. But still, you have some videos there, right? Great. So now going back to the first method, I just want you to question like, all right, so the answer is x squared minus 3x in terms of x, right? Would we be able to get to t squared minus 3 from here? That's for you to test, because I'm too lazy for that, okay? And this brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you next time with another video. Until then, be safe, take care, and bye-bye.